Hey everybody, I'm going to show you how easy it is to replace your own sump pump. So save some money and watch this. It works, so let's go ahead and get to it. First of all, you want to remove your cover, figure out how that all goes in there. All the covers are different, so I'm checking out how it connects, the fittings, because you want to make sure the one that you buy is the same PVC fitting. This is 1.5, I believe. So I take off my rubber fitting there, goes in both sides. So once I pull the cap off here, I can take my electrical cord out. Then I have to actually thread my electrical cord down through there and pull it out. It still ran, but I bought my house in 2012 and it's 2025. And I just didn't want to gamble anymore, so I go ahead and replaced it. I have my neighbors. They've all had dumpster bins in front of their houses the past few years because their sump pumps went out and they got their basements flooded, and I don't want to have to deal with that. So I'm going to go ahead and be proactive and replace it. My new sump pump, I got stainless steel, so it won't be so bad on it if it's submerged all the time. The one I'm taking out is a rigid, and I'm replacing it with an Everbuilt. That's just what they had at Home Depot when I went there. Went with a 0.5 horsepower. So make sure you have a bag nearby. I'm actually keeping this around just in case the Everbuilt goes out on me. Then at least I have a backup that I know worked when I put it away. So if something happens, I can throw it in there quick if I'm in an emergency situation. So taking the new one out, it actually comes with its own PVC fitting for the ejector hose. And if you watch my other videos, I replaced the hose going outside as well with a backflow stopper. So it fits in there good. I talked to the guy at Home Depot and he said since I'm going to a white PVC to black PVC, there's some special 2-part glue to use. And I'll show you the cans here quick as I'm putting it on. Typically, you don't want to go white to black. That's a no-no. You want to go black to black or white to white. But they do make stuff specifically for white to black. So just make sure when you're buying your stuff, you're getting the right stuff. So just making sure the fittings are the same. Sizing everything up because I've got to go cut my tube and then come back and do the fitting. So make sure, measure twice, cut once. It's always a good rule of thumb. So making sure that fits in there good. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply my 2-part glue here. The primer says to do 2 coats. And then the glue you want to put on last. And then you want to put it on the tube, the PVC you're putting in there as well. So purple primer. Again, read the cans, talk to somebody at the store. The guys at Home Depot are really knowledgeable and let me know what to do and how to do it. And of course, by the time I got home, I forgot, so I had to read the can again, but not a big deal. I asked a few plumbers, I know a few handymen, and they charge about $500 to install sump pumps. Took me less than an hour. The sump pump was around $200. It's maybe $185, so with tax around $200. And of course I shook them, and then I think the can said do not shake. So always read the can. And as you can see, my glove busted already. But that's okay. I'm done with the dirty work, pretty much taking the old one out. So I put the 2 coats of primer on. Now I'm putting on the activator solvent. It's a little gloppy, but it still worked. I think it said it needs to dry for a few hours before it gets wet. So once I put this on here, I left it for a few hours, came back, pulled on it, tugged on it, and it didn't move, so it was all sealed. Doesn't take long. when I've done PVC before with this two-part, it sealed, it dried really fast, like 30 seconds to a minute. But to get a full cure, you have to wait a few hours. So just set it in there right where the old one was and make sure, again, everything lines up with your PVC, your ejection tubing. And then I just used my old, I bought a new coupling, but I just went ahead and used my old one. Kept my new one around just in case I needed it. So I'm just eyeing it all up, seeing what I have to do. It's a little bit of a puzzle because you have to put your cover back on first and then thread your power cable through there, and then you can slide it into place after everything's on. So I mean, buying a new sump pump, pulling the old one, dropping the new one in there, setting a pipe, you only have to do the two-part hardener one time on one fitting if you have the, I call them a gasket with the tighteners on there. And I go ahead and, I can't remember, I think I have to end up cutting that a little shorter. So I just mark it out and cut it with my saw that I have there. Didn't take too long. But it's always nice when you can do this stuff by yourself. You end up saving a whole lot of money. So make sure to like, subscribe, share, follow along my page. I'm all about doing things myself, first timers. Usually everything I'm doing is for the first time. And I'll watch YouTube videos myself, get a general idea, look around, take a bunch of nuggets from different videos and apply them to my own. That way I save you time, so then you don't have to watch a whole bunch of different stuff. And I do it using my tools, which I don't have the most expensive tools, the newest ones. I mean, if you have old tools, that's all I use. Save yourself some money that way too. You don't have to go out and buy all brand new stuff. It's pretty simple to do a lot of the stuff that I'm doing. I'm not doing things I have to go out and buy a whole bunch of new stuff for. Let's go ahead and get that taken off of there. It's always easier to make a first cut, get it kind of close, and then by the time you make this cut, you already have it down in there. You know exactly how high it needs to go because it's sitting right next to the ejection tube. There we go. Now I just need to slide it over into place. Gonna move that power cord up and through, making sure everything's set in the right spot. You want it level. You don't want it pulling on that, sagging it down. You don't want any tension on any of the PVC pipes because over time they do wear, they can crack, and then you're gonna have a whole different kind of problem. Last thing I want is a cracked PVC pipe running through my ceiling in the basement. And again, it's always a good idea to replace these before they go out. I looked at battery backup packs. I was thinking about that too, but that'd triple my price because those things are like $300 to $400. Gotta get the battery and they need some kind of backup power to them too, because usually for your backup to run, your electricity has to be out, so it has to have something to push the power through to the sump pump. And where my house is, it's definitely clay. It collects water fast. My neighbors are more in the line of where all the water comes through. I don't have as much as they do, but my sump pump definitely runs 20, 30, 40 times a year, depending on how bad the spring is and the snow melt. I'm in Minnesota, so we get a lot of ice melt, a lot of water in the spring. Making sure it lines up good. You want them to be kind of close because when you put on that rubber coupling there, it's not going to give you a whole lot of room on each end. You want to make sure to have a good inch on each side at least, so you can clamp it on there.
Okay.
So everything's in there. And by the way, I had a radon test, and I always keep a can or something over the opening on the sump pump there, because you see that open hole. And radon can come in through that because your sump pump goes into the ground, and radon, that's one spot it can come up. So when I was having the guy come out, he was looking around and he opened up my sump pump room and saw I had something on there. He's like, oh, nice. Actually, I was going to tell you if you had an open sump pump, cover it and cover a hole. And I see you already did that. So kudos to you. So that's kind of proactive on that too. I passed my radon test at very low levels. I had open concrete underneath my HVAC system, and then I sealed that a few years ago too. He said a lot of times when they're building the new houses and doing the foundation, they leave open spots under the HVAC. So he looked under there and he saw I'd already done that too. So it's pretty pleased with that. Just making sure everything's lined up. There's no pull on it. Everything's set up. So I go ahead and just pour some water in there till I get it full enough to find out if she runs. And it does. It's fixed. I saved $500 having someone else do it. It only took me about an hour, minus the dry time and everything else. And then I also still have my backup pump. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, and come on back and I'll save you some money. Thanks.